Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Julia McNeil's Crafts. Today I am going to be making a journal page, and I have a 6x6 piece of card here because it's for the Artful Evidence challenge. I think it runs every week. I've only just discovered this particular challenge. And yeah, this week the theme is steampunk. Now I love steampunk, so I had to give it a go. So actually what I've done as well is I have pulled out a whole load of really old stash because I am just having to use it, to be honest, and a lot of stuff I've kind of fallen out with. I've changed my style, not this particular elements but some of the future ones. This is Sheena Douglas by Crafter's Companion Perfect Partners Time Traveller set. So and I am stamping this with Stays On ink, so I'm just doing this as a base. Yeah, so what I've done is I've gone through my collection and I have got things like old toppers. I don't use toppers anymore. To be honest, I never really did use toppers. I've always been a stamper. I've always enjoyed stamping and doing things for myself, but then sometimes I would fall in love with these kits, fall in love with the images, and I'd buy them anyway for the sake of the images, and I have drawerfuls of them and have never used them. So seeing as I've kind of got a lot more into art journaling now, and one of the big elements of that can be collage, I'm trying to kind of look through some of this stash that I've got and trying to view it in a slightly different way, to view it as collage elements, rather than, you know, just a topper. So I need to kind of try and use up my unloved stash. So I have no idea really what I'm doing. All I've done is I have picked out a few different things that I have. Oh, sorry, that would be a loud noise in the camera. That have that steampunk theme, and I'll see how I got on. So this is Creative Expressions, and I've got a little steampunk mask here. And I'm just going to get some of this Pebeo metallic paint, and I've got a little kitchen sponge here. You can tell I watch a lot of Sheena Douglas on TV because this is her trick. It's cheap and cheerful. You get a massive packet of these from the pound shop. So it doesn't break the bank, and it does make a really easy applicator. I want quite a thin layer because I don't want to have to be waiting for ages for things to dry, because I'm in the middle of doing another project for YouTube, which hopefully will be loaded up near the end of the week sometime, but it's one of those ones that it's just got so many elements to it and lots of drying times, so I'm just wanting to make something that I can just kind of complete in almost one sitting. There might need to be a little bit of drying time, but hopefully I can just do this in one sitting. So yeah, I'm just basically dabbing my paint over the stencil to create a little bit of the cog texture there. It's not overly clear that it's cogs, but you know, it'll do. And what I actually might do as well is just kind of go around the edge of the, oops, a bit much there, just go around the edge of the card, kind of tone it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm just going to build up some layers and elements, so I'm going to try and rip. Oh, that cardboard doesn't seem to want to rip. I was going against the grain a little bit. I'm just going to, I've got some bits of packaging. These are actually little bits that I have left over from the project I have beside me drying away. It's going to probably take 3 days to dry. Maybe not, should be ready by tomorrow, but I don't think I'll have a chance to do any filming tomorrow because it's still school holidays. But today is the day that my daughter is with her grandma, so I have a little bit of time to do a little bit of playing, so I'm making the most of it. So as I said, I don't really have much of a plan. I'm just sticking elements together and seeing what happens. So doing this to add a bit of texture. I probably should use like a gel medium, it would stick better, but it's a longer drying time. And just the sort of mood that I'm in today, I just want it done nice and quickly. And you know, it's going in my journal. It's not, doesn't need to be all the 100 years light fast and will last forever, because it's going in my personal journal. It doesn't really matter. It's not going in a gallery. Okay, the other thing I found was, I was going on and on last time I made a journal page about velocitate. I'd forgotten this stuff even existed. Now, I think I've managed to tear it in the past. No, I'll maybe start by cutting it first. Yeah, I forgot this stuff even existed and that I even had it, but as I was hunting through for stuff in the last journal page that I made, I came across it, and I think I went on and on about it and then ended up not using any. So I've got this, these are little penny farthings. I thought, oh well, I'll use some today. So yeah, I think the idea of it is that it is clear like a vellum would be, or an acetate would be, but it's also sticky. It's adhesive, which is great, because then you don't get that kind of needing to work out how to stick your vellum on. Okay. Just cut that off there. I think I'm liking that so far. Don't want to waste anything, so I'll just stick this a little bit there. Okay. So, as I said, I have a pile of toppers that I just really don't, it's not really in my crafting style or vocabulary or anything anymore. I let my daughter play with them from time to time. I always say they're handy for a quick and easy card, but I don't think I do quick and easy cards. It's just not in my nature. So, yeah, I'm going to try and use them up in a journal page instead. So these are from Kanban. And I thought, she's gorgeous, isn't she? Very incredibly glamorous. So, because I've got the card there, this is going to need to be the same height in order to adhere properly. So, yeah, I'm just going to do that. Put loads of this glue on. It will stick. This stuff is pretty good. It's not quite as strong as your gel mediums, but it does the job. Right, I'm going to just have it so it's on this corner. Okay, and then I will cut the reverse off. Okay, liking how that's looking so far. Let's stick that over onto that side. Like so. Okay, and then I was thinking this needs a bit more support, I think. I'm just going to add a bit more, another one of these. Just tuck it in. So it's not quite, it's a little bit floppy. Just going to tuck that in there. There we go. That seems a bit more secure. Okay, I probably should have had a piece there as well. See, this is right. Sometimes planning your project is good. In general, I tend to wing most things, so I'm kind of used to just making it work. But yeah, I need to even that out a bit, so we'll pop that. There we go. That's better. Have I got two bits of card? Yeah, I have. So, here is a video on how not to do it. Oh dear. That's fine, I'll hide that bit in a bit. Okay, and then I was thinking I would kind of almost double layer that and put this one over too. Okay. I'll cover her face with it. I just thought that might add a bit of an extra interest. Okay, and again I'll cut that off. Okay. Oops, I don't like to waste these bits. Oh, I think they'll have to go on another project, not completely loving them. Okay, so the next thing I did was I have made a whole load of cogs here, and I'll just show you how I did that. So I've used a die cut. And if you die cut on black, now you get lots of fancy kits to do this kind of patina rusted effect, but you can quite easily do it as well. You don't need a fancy kit, you just need the right colours, to be honest. So I've got a little bit of gesso. This is indigo blue Gesso Good gesso. Okay. And I have my Ecoline pens, so this is 508, which is a kind of blue colour, and this is 411, which is kind of like a rust colour. Now, I'm not knocking all of these kits, they look amazing, but for me, I don't create this sort of rust effect often enough to warrant buying a kit like that. And these products do go off. I have bought stuff in the past and it's gone off, which is gutted about. So having little tricks like this, if you're only doing it occasionally, it stops a little thing going off. So what I've done, if you can see that, is I've got the black and then I've added just a little bit of gesso. Okay, and then what we do is we just add a little bit of that kind of rust colour in over the gesso and onto the black. Like so, and a little bit of the blue as well. It's that kind of funny blue colour that gives it that kind of oxidised look. Okay. There we go. So that is it at that stage. Okay, and then once that's dry, I don't put as much colour on this one, but once that's dry you end up with something like that. And then if you get a little bit of gilding wax, I have had this forever and I use it a lot, as you might have seen if you follow my channel. So it lasts a long time. So a little bit of gilding wax and just kind of gild the edges and add that touch of gold. Okay, and then we have that sort of rusty, oxidised look. And so that is what I have done with all of these. So the dye I used it's another Sheena Douglas one. So it's this one here. It's again part of the Time Traveller range, Geared Up. So that's what I've used for that. And what I'm going to do is just arrange that around my page. Right, I'm going to take all of this off. I have to say that these ones that I made ages ago. It's the sort of thing I do. It's like just batch make a whole load of gears and things like that, and then have them in my stash ready to go. And then when you've got a project like this, that you can get them all out and have a play. So yeah, I'm just wanting to put some gears in and around here. Maybe try and connect those two parts. We're just adding a bit of texture by doing that. Okay, let me see how else have I got. Doopy-doopy-doo. I love her red outfit. So nice. I do have a thing for red. Very much so. Wore a red wedding dress, so that about says it all. Right, yeah. It's kind of getting there. Maybe put another one at the bottom here. Okay, so I will stick those down and then we will see what we will do. Oh, next, sorry, head. I'm doing a bit better with that, but obviously not just now. So I'll stick all of these down. I think because it's a lady, I quite fancy having some sort of steampunk type flowers in the mix here. So after I've glued these down, I will have to have a little look in my stash and see what I can find. I know I will have something, because as I said, I'm quite a big fan of steampunk. So anytime anything with steampunk comes on, that's me sold. That's me bought it straight away. No willpower, it all goes out the window. So it was nice to have the reason to get all of this stuff out and have a play. I'm liking it. This is quite a dimensional journal page for me. Normally I kind of have my dimension on cards and bits and pieces like that. Now I've just realised I've still got that bit of cardboard poking out, so let's see if we can disguise that somewhat. So that it looks a bit more, looks a bit less random. Looks deliberate. That's it. And just cover over any mistakes. Never think you've made a mistake. Try and refer to them as happy accidents and work around them. And just keep going. If you fall out with something, just keep going till you like it again. It's amazing the difference. You know, just keeping going, you can end up with something that you really, really like. It's having difficulty with the difference in heights there. But it's fine. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Just maybe need to put a lot of extra glue on that. It's fine because it dries clear. So we'll be fine. Sorry, it's a funny little tune to be singing to, isn't it? Yeah, put it there. Yeah, because she's looking very elegant, I think we need to make it like steampunk but a bit more girly. So I think we will definitely go and have some flowers. So what I will do there is I'm just going to pause the video a second. I'm going to find some flowery stuff and then do our finishing bits and bobs. See you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back and I have got these stamps from Crafter's Companion by Donna Radcliff, and she's turned little bells into steampunk flowers and a light bulb into steampunk flowers. That's just perfect. Now I have actually prepared a few of these off camera and I was having real issues with this stamp, so I'm hoping that this is going to stamp okay this time. If not, I'm just going to have to go with it, because seriously, I had my normal stamping block out and that wasn't working very well. Then I had my rock block out and that didn't work, and then eventually I got my stamp press out, which I very rarely use, and it took 3 times of pressing down on it for it to work. So I'm just going to have to go with whatever image I get. So I've stamped that with Versamark ink because I want to emboss it. With it being steampunk, I'm kind of going for the whole metal thing. Okay, so this was the issue that I was having before. It was this little bit here. Just did not want to stamp for some reason. But I'll go through the colouring process just so that I can show you what I did. So I don't know what it is about these stamps. I never tend to have an issue stamping, and I tried every single type of thing that I have, and in all honesty I had issues with everything, so I'm not sure why that is. As I said, eventually stamping press, going over it 3 or 4 times did make a difference. So now I am just heat embossing this. So I've got my heat gun here, and eventually that will start turning. I still think this is one of the most amazing techniques. It's been around for a long time. I don't know if you can see that changing now. And it goes from this kind of funny grey looking powder to this real metallic look, which is just gorgeous. Okay, so I'm just going to emboss that. So fab, looks so good. Okay, so once I'd done that, then I just very quickly watercoloured it in. So again, I've gone for my Echo Lines, and I have taken this one, 344, which is Scarlet, and I took 422, which is Reddish Brown, and then I also used the same blue that I did when I did the patina, the cogs, so that's 508 Prussian Blue, and then I have this green here, which is 656, and that's Forest Green, and finally I had black, which is just over here. Black, which is 700. Okay, so I'm just very quickly going to do that. Just get my trusty tissue. I seem to be in the dark. I've had to kind of up the brightness, so I'm hoping the difference between the last shot and this, the bulb, one of the bulbs has gone in my loft, so that's really not good. It's dark and dingy as it is. Thankfully the lights above my desk where I'm recording are fine, but yeah, the actual lighting in the loft, so I feel like I'm in the dark. Okay, so I've put that bright red on first, and then I'm just going to build it up with that kind of reddish brown colour. I'm going to need that a lot more intense. I might actually just go on with the pen. So I was wanting it to match her outfit there. That's kind of where I've gone for these colours. And then it's always darker in the centre of the flowers, so I'll kind of add a bit there. And then finally, to give that its real depth, add in a bit of black, because you just, I don't know, you can't really get the depths. I don't think you can really get the depths with certain colours like reds or teals without just adding that little bit of black, and it just makes a difference. It really kind of creates those shadow areas, makes that stand out. And then I wanted the, as I said, the leaves to kind of stand out with the patina, so I used the exact same blue, and as you can see I'm not being careful, and the reason I'm not being careful is because, sorry, I put that more in shot, is that I'm going to be cutting that out. So I've literally just gone over that with a little bit of green and blue, Okay, and then for those that have been asking, what is fussy cutting? This is fussy cutting, so I'll not do the whole thing because you don't really want to watch me cutting loads, I don't think. But fussy cutting is just taking an element, something you've stamped, a part of a paper that you like. So if you've got pattern paper that's got a big rose in it and you cut out the rose, that's fussy cutting. But I have been asked a few times here and on my Instagram, so please feel free to check out my Instagram because I share a lot more on that than I do here. And yeah, so I have been asked what is fussy cutting, so there you go, that is fussy cutting, just sitting. And I think the reason why, because I'd mentioned it before, because I was kind of in a funny place crafty wise and I was just trying to get my mojo back, and I think the reason fussy cutting worked for me is I do a lot of fussy cutting and I find it quite relaxing, and I wasn't having to think, I wasn't trying to think of the finished project, I was literally just cutting out, and then bits fell on top of each other and that was enough for me to kind of get started. So that's it there, and then I've taken my shaping tool from Heartfelt Creations and I've just given that a little bit of shaping. So I've done that a few times over, and what I'm going to do is kind of stick them together. So there was also this light bulb one. Now let me see, I had a couple of light bulbs and one of them's got darker leaves, this one has, so I'm going to just stick that there using my Cosmic Shimmer again. It does feel really weird, I feel like I'm sitting in the dark. It's scary up here. No, it's not really, but it feels a bit strange. So yes, I'm going to try and put these into a little, I still wanted steampunk. This is why I really like this set, because we've not just got random florals in here. I think the fact that they're little bells turned into flowers is just perfect. It's just too cute. I'm going to stick a light bulb in there as well. We've not lost the essence of it being steampunk, but we've just given it a little bit more femininity, seeing as we've got that gorgeous lady just there. Yeah, I'm just going to start sticking down, otherwise I'm going to be rearranging forever. I know that I don't want it overlapping her face, so if we put that in and then we can arrange the rest of the flowers around that until it looks reasonable. So I'm now going to have to create myself a 6x6 album, because I've never done 6x6 journaling before. So yeah, something new. I'm trying to work out if I want a third one. See, it's the rule of threes, and I've not got the three, there's 3 flowers there, but not the 3 red ones. I'll see how we get on. I think it's too much, because we're going to that realms of there being 4, so I'll see if I can tie everything together. So I'm just going to soften this with some of the little leaves. As I said, these all were part of one stamp, but I've kind of chopped them into individual elements. But I just think adding that little bit of greenery does tend to soften things a little bit. I'm just trying to put this into some sort of little arrangement. Little random steampunk flower arrangement there. Okay, and then I think what we'll do is we'll bring the rest of it up here. Yeah. So we've got our 3 and our 3, so it's still kind of working for me. Okay. So this is one of the most dimensional pieces that I've ever created, so it'll have to be some sort of loose binding book. If this was actually in a book, it would be bulging the pages out. Right, so I've still got a couple of leaves left here. I'll just try and pop them in. So I'll just soften the edge of the pages with that. Okay, so I think I'm fairly happy with that. I'll trying to decide if I want to do a bit of shadowing. Yeah, I think I will. I was just trying to decide whether the page needed it or not. So again, I've got my Inktense pencil, and I will get a little brush. Sorry, I'm in my squeaky chair again. I'm going to have to replace that chair. Sorry, I'm going to have to just change the view slightly. Okay. So I'm just going to put, I don't think I'll do a huge amount, but I just think it might help some of these cogs and things stand out a little bit. Right. Sorry, I'm having difficulty getting my brush in there, so we'll just go in with the pencil and move it that way. So I'm just going to add this little bit of shading, and that'll just help these elements to stand out a little bit from the page. Like so. And I think it does, yeah, it does make a difference, because we kind of lost the cog detail because everything was looking quite busy, and this just helps bring it back together again. So this will take a while. So I think I'm going to do what I've kind of got into the way of doing over the last few videos, is I've kind of shown you what I'm doing with regards to the shading, and I'm just going to take myself off camera now and finish that off, and then I'll be back to you for the finishing touches. Okay, so I'm back. I've edged everything with my Inktense pencil. What I was really impressed with is here I've got that Velacetate, but because it's Inktense and it dries permanent, it has actually tinted that as well. So I think we're just on the last few touches. What I'm going to do is add some black splashes. I'm just going to cover the lady's face there because we don't want horrible black splashes on her face. I'll just put that under there to protect that a little bit. Okay. So I'm just going to add a few splashes, because I don't know, splashes seem to finish everything off in my book. Don't know why, but they do. Okay. Actually, I just want a few more over that side. Sometimes you don't realise till you've lifted the paper what you want. I didn't want any on her face, but now this is one or two there. Perfect. Okay, that's better. Okay, and then I have got some sentiments, and these are the Tim Holtz one, and I thought this one was quite good. She dreamed beautiful dreams, because that was that was the whole beauty of the steampunk era, wasn't it? It's just that they were beginning to explore. It was a time of imagination. They believed in all sorts of possibilities. Oops, and a lot of them came true. I actually don't mind that that's gone on there a little bit because they're quite pale. And what I'm going to do again is grab my Inktense pencil and just highlight the sentiment there. Just wiping off my so I'm just going to highlight this here. Oops, sorry, head writing shot there. So I realise I really need to get my hair done. I think when the kids go back, that'll be it. I'll be booking an appointment. So I'm just going to, it's alright that it splattered those dots as well. It makes it all part of it, doesn't it? Aged, give it a bit of an aged look. So I'll do that, and then what I will also do is grab my Posca pen in black and just sketch around it, do some little sketched lines like so. Okay, there's just a couple more things I want to do, but I'm going to have to wait for that little bit of splatter to dry. So I'm just going to go off and have a quick cuppa, and then I will be back to finish off. Okay, so I am getting there now. I'm just going to do the last few finishing touches. I'm just going to edge, like I always do, with my Pro marker. This one's beginning to run out a little bit, so I'm just going to edge right round. I think it just frames the work and draws the eye in. Especially as it's quite a busy piece, you kind of want it focused, the eye kind of coming into the page. Okay, so I'm just kind of quickly done that, and then I will doodle a little border as well. Sorry, spin this round. So I'm just going to doodle a little squiggly border. It doesn't matter if it goes uneven, if you just do a few squiggles over it, it kind of gives that sort of look of stitching and stuff, so you don't have to worry overly about drawing straight lines. Okay, so that's that little bit. Then I'm just going to use Nouveau drops. I personally think these are the best things since sliced bread. I used to always try using like a glossy accents for this sort of technique, but then I always found out by the time it dried there was sort of air bubbles in it and all sorts. But since I've tried doing Nouveau drops, I've not had the same problem at all. They seem to be slightly more forgiving. Now that's just smudged that black drop a little bit too much. Maybe we should have done this before. Okay, and the reason that I've done this is that because these are light bulbs, I thought it would be quite cool if they looked a bit glass-like. As I said, unfortunately we've smudged the black there, but hopefully that'll just add to the whole steampunk look. And then I might just add a few little drops as well, just for a little bit of added texture, a bit of extra detail. Actually, I could add some to our little glasses. That might be quite cool. So it's just these finishing touches. Now, unfortunately, this isn't going to look anything until it's dry, so I will probably have to just put the camera on again, maybe once more, just for a few seconds, just to be able to see the actual finished result. But that is pretty much us now, I think. Yeah, so I'll leave that, and then I'll pop back once those drops have dried, and we'll see how the finished piece looks. Okay, that's me back just to show you the final result. So we now have a little bit of a sheen on that light bulb there, and then the glasses and things. So that's the finished project. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!